YouTube, what's going on YouTube? What is going on? What is happening, man? Of course, it's your guy one more time, DEDRICKHICKSJR, and I'm back with another fragrance video. Smell good family. Hopefully everyone is doing well, doing great, doing fantastic. And of course, man, it's positive energy, it's positive vibes, and most importantly, it is positive vibes only. All right, so we are back to do my favorite video that I love to do each and every week, and that is the weekly rotation video. All right, so this is week 185, I believe, 185 straight weeks of doing this video. And again, the camaraderie and the conversations in the comments are just fantastic. So please drop your rotations down in the comments. Love the, like I said, the conversation, and y'all be putting me on the stuff too. All right, so y'all drop your rotations, your weekly rotations down below. All right, so this week it was a great week. It was a great week. This is one of the better lineups. Like, you know, if I do say so myself, I think all my lineups are good, but this is one of the better ones for sure. A lot of compliments this week. As I stated before, I work, you know, around a lot of people. I come across a lot of individuals daily, and I was moving around a lot this week with different meetings and different things that I had to attend. All right, so a lot of conversations this week. Looking forward to talking about it, and let's do that right now. All right, so up first, from the house of Chanel on Sunday. I was off on Sunday, really didn't do much of anything, watch football, ran a couple of errands, just really relaxed on Sunday. All right, I was glad because your boy needed it. All right, but watching some ball, like I said, ran a couple of errands, but smelling fantastic. This was one of my favorite in all of my collection at one point in time. I still love it. I still think it's fantastic. But I used to wear this stuff out. From the house of Chanel on Sunday, we went with Allure Homme Edition Blanche. All right, Edition Blanche is what I called it. All right, beautiful citrus, ginger, this candied lemon, and musk. You definitely get that Allure Homme DNA, but this one is a little bit more sweeter, a little bit more, yeah, the sweetness of it. That's what's really standing out. Kind of like this vanilla, musk, citrus, ginger combo here. And it's fantastic. I've never seen this in stores or retail. I know you can get it from duty frees, you know, cruise ships and things of that nature, or Chanel.com. That's where you can get it. But it was one of those limited editions that I have never seen in the store. And maybe that was just pure intent by Chanel. But this is one of the best fragrances that Chanel has ever put out. So if you haven't got your nose on this and you're a fan of that Allure line, there's a lot of fragrances in the Allure line and they're all pretty good. This one is very nice. It has a twist to it. Like I said, a little bit more sweeter, kind of like this. It's been compared to like some like a key lime pie or lemon meringue pie type of vibe. And I definitely get the conversation of that, man. So this one is a really, really good one. Nice performance, and at the end of the day, it just smells awesome. On Sunday, doing a bunch of nothing, watching some football, we went with Chanel's Allure Homme Edition Blanche on Sunday. Really good stuff here, man. I was really reminded how really good this is for sure. All right, up next on Monday, we returned to the office, and the weather was beautiful, man. It's starting to kind of change down here in Jacksonville where it's not as hot. The humidity is kind of out of the picture, but it's just, you know, becoming that time of year. And this was a fragrance to really highlight that. And this is awesome. You know, I'm a huge fan of rose. I've documented it and highlighted that here on this channel. And this is one of the better rose fragrances I've got my nose on. This stuff is awesome. From the house of Oman Luxury, we have Flower Lush. Flower Lush. All right, this is outstanding, man. It is a fresher rose. There's some beautiful citrus up top, there's some spices here, and then there's patchouli in the base, and it's really blended very well. Excellent performer, conversation starter. I had a couple of, I think two conversations about this fragrance in passing of individuals, and then I got one just a matter of fact compliment, like, man, you smell good. When I was walking into my office, man. So this is very good. Again, rose is not for everybody. We get into the conversations about florals and things like that, but fellas, trust me, and you know, tapping into the florals and finding one for you it could be a game changer. You know, there's all types of floral representation and fragrances, and this is a really, really good one. That kind of spiced rose, beautiful citrus up top. The blend of the composition really shows itself in a really good light, and I really, really, really like this. I'm going to be wearing this a lot in the fall, a lot in the spring. This is really nice. One of the better rose fragrances in my collection for sure. This stuff is amazing. From the house of Oman Luxury on Monday to the office. Compliments and conversation with this one. We have Flower Lush. This one is fire, man. This one is fire for sure. All right. Up next on Tuesday. This was the most complimented, was it? I think this was the most complimented fragrance of the week. There's two more that got some compliments, but this was the most complimented, and I understand why. It's just one of those ones. On Tuesday to the office from the house of Sospetto, we went with Contratto. I was just in the mood for it. I started off the week really in the mood for florals, and that's what we were rocking with. And this is another floral beauty, man. Those white florals, those citruses, that creamy nature to it as well. This stuff is spectacular. Along the lines of Byredo's Bal d'Afrique, which I think is excellent, but I prefer this over Bal d'Afrique. It just has a little bit more of that creamy texture. The florals, the blend is a little bit, I ain't gonna say nicer, but I guess more appeasing to me. And Contratto is just like that. This fragrance can go in a lot of different directions. This fragrance has layers. You can pretty much wear it when you want, in my opinion, but there's some sexiness to it. There is a unique factor to this fragrance as well. There is this, you know, if you want to put your best foot forward and make a great impression type of vibe with this fragrance, and it is outstanding. I received 3 compliments wearing this fragrance, and I wasn't surprised. I think the profile is kind of known for that, to get conversations and to get compliments, whether you're wearing Bal d'Afrique's Byredo's Bal d'Afrique, or this one, or some other fragrance that resembles its DNA. It's just one of those ones, man. And Contratto is a special fragrance, beautiful blend, very, very good. And I was just in the mood to wear it, so I wore it to work. Normally, I wouldn't wear a profile like this to work normally, but like I said, I was just in the mood for it. All right, so on Tuesday, pretty good day, moving around. Had some, like I said, some great conversations about fragrance, and 3 compliments with this one, man. So on Tuesday, from the house of Sospetto, we went with Contratto. All right. On Wednesday is meeting day. I've stated that here weekly. And on Wednesday, I'm looking for something, you know, inoffensive, clean, fresh, something that's kind of straight to the point. I'm sitting around a lot of people, elbows to elbows, and I'm not trying to be that guy, but still going in, you know, being myself, smelling good, you know, groomed and all that. I don't mess around when stepping into the office. And I haven't worn this one in a while, and this is really, really good. This is one of the greatest designers of all time, especially this specific flanker. I think it's not even close. It's the best of its line. From the house of Dior, we have Dior Sauvage, the Parfum, on Wednesday. So when I say the best of the line, I'm talking about the original EDT and the EDP, and this one. The Elixir kind of stands alone, and for me, it's fantastic. But the Parfum, the reason I love this the most, and why I think it's the best, is it's toned down from its obnoxiousness with the power of the Ambroxan in the original and in the EDP. It's toned down, it's still present. You get this more smooth version of the DNA with the powdery tones, the citruses. Like I said, the Ambroxan is toned down, the woods in here. This stuff is awesome. Just reminded of, and this bottle, I have like a quarter, a little under half, or right at a quarter of left. I was wearing this out, man, when I first got this years ago, and just reminded how really good it is. And I like that in fragrances, man, in our journey. Sometimes we don't wear something for a while, we revisit it, and it's kind of like experiencing all over again for the first time. And that's what this kind of was for me on Wednesday. I did receive 1 compliment walking into my meeting about this fragrance, and actually the person who complimented me said, bro, that kind of smells familiar. He said, but you smell good, bro. I like that one, you know, just kind of in passing. All right, so this is just one of those really, man, what's the word I'm looking for? I guess get the job done. Don't have to really worry about it. You know, very versatile. You can wear it anytime, any place, anywhere. And it's just a safe. That's what I'm looking for. It's a safe fragrance for sure. And if you only want one fragrance for your whole life, this is one to look into. It's a classic in the community. It's a classic overall. Matter of fact, it's a fragrance icon at this point, that Dior Sauvage line. But this one right here is the best one. And this is what I wore on meeting day. And it's great. It's still great. I'm going to be wearing this more to the office. From the house of Dior, we have Sauvage, the parfum. Dior Sauvage, the parfum. All right. Up next on Thursday, man, one of my OGs, man, who I talk fragrance with, man, he recognized this right off the rip. He's a big fragrance guy. We talked about this. This is one of his favorite brands. And this is one of my favorites from the house. From the house of Creed on Thursday to the office. We went with Original Santal. Classic, man. Classic, beautiful. The lavender. Oh my God, the freshness of it is amazing. But then the blend with that tonka bean that really stands up tall with this fragrance, man. My love for this is really, I love the whole thing, the opening, the mid, and the dry down. But the mid, and especially the dry down, is where this really shines. That tonka bean really leads the charge, man. A unique, fresh, clean, gentleman-like fragrance, man. That is outstanding. And I gotta assume at the time that this was released, it probably wasn't a lot of fragrances in this direction. That fresh, kind of green and sweet profile, man. And it has some body to it. It has some density to it. You know, for me, I get really good performance out of Original Santal. I'm at least in that 7 to 8 hour range with this one. I've seen some people say they only get 4 hours or something like that. Not for me. I do spray my clothes as well. And I was getting wafts of this going into the end of my day. And it's just one of those ones that you just can't go wrong. You can't go wrong wearing this to the office or anywhere where you're in a social environment, or you're going to church, or, you know, somewhere where you're kind of just moving around, and, you know, you're dressed in this kind of, not casual, but business-like, or you're kind of dressing it up a little bit. This is just the type of vibe. Not saying you can't wear this casually, because you can. You can. My OG, we had a conversation at my job, and he's a huge fragrance guy, loves Creed. So when I walked by him coming into the office, and he came into my office, like he followed my century to him. I know what that is, young blood. I know what that is, young blood. And we talked about it for a little bit as well. So Creed is a great house, classic, iconic house. But Original Santal is definitely one of the better ones. You're looking for a very high quality, fresh fragrance. This is the one to look into. This stuff is awesome. On Thursday, to the office, one conversation, compliment from the house of Creed. We got Original Santal. Original Santal. Great stuff, man. All right, up next on Friday. This was my most complimented fragrance of the week. And I was really surprised because I've had fragrances that resemble this DNA. And I've gotten compliments, but not like this. And I'm taking into consideration one of my guys were retiring, so they had a gathering for him. And I went to the gathering, and I'm fresh coming into work. So this was freshly applied, and I received 5 compliments. It's up there, one of my most highly complimented fragrances, experiences. At one of my most complimented fragrances in my collection now, but 5 compliments with this particular fragrance. From the house of Boudicca the Victorious, we went with Night of Love on Friday. Night of Love on Friday. Yes, this resembles one of my favorite brands and one of my favorite fragrances. It resembles, or a few of them, from the house of Roman Jane. Montalbano Intensivo Cuba, Montalbano Verano, all that. But what's the difference between the two? And I did my research on this. I had some conversations about this. Shout out to my guy, Jason Vercher. We had some conversation about this one. And I went ahead and blind bought this one and pulled the trigger because of my love for the DNA and everything that I have been told that it's the top of the line of this DNA. And this is just one of my favorites. It's up there with the Creed Aventus DNA. It's up there with the Bleu de Chanel DNA for me. So it kind of hits different for me. This is indeed the very best take on the Montalbano DNA. It's no question. The blend of this and the heightened appearance of the ingredients in here is definitely beyond noticeable. The difference between this one, this doesn't carry that kind of heavy molecular molecule vibe with that isoe super and Bronson feel. To me, this doesn't have that. It's way toned down, or dare I say muted, compared to Montalbano Intensivo, which it's clear there that the Ambroxan or the isoe super is meddling in that one for sure. Same with Cuba, and same with especially Verano. But this one is just dialed all the way back. And yes, it does come off with this kind of what would I call it? I want to call it, like, you know, because I hear the conversation about Boldiccia and Christian Provenzano of how he kind of clones other things or whatever, or makes them better. He may does that. But I will say, from my experience with this is the best of that DNA. I still love Montalbano Intensivo in Cuba and Verano, but when I'm going for that DNA going forward, this will be the play. That tobacco, just the overall freshness in here, that suede feel in here, the cashmere, like, and then what you get, the citrus aspect of this is blended with this kind of red berry formula. It's not like I'm giving a review right now, but this was the first time that I wore the fragrance. Kind of like this red berry blend with the other citrus factors in here, along with the fresh factors, and then the suede, and then the tobacco. The tobacco and the suede in here work beautifully. It's outstanding. I'm already a fan of the DNA, but I will say I understand the conversation. Was it completely redundant for me to get this? Absolutely it was. I did not need this in my collection. But the reason why I have it in my collection is because how I feel about the DNA. The same reason why I have all of the Bleu de Chanels. The same reason why I have multiple versions of Creed Aventus. And the same reason why I have multiple versions of Montalbano Intensivo. It comes in this form of Boldiccia, the Victorious, Night of Love. I received 5 compliments walking into the establishment, where one of my co-workers was retiring, and just right after each other, compliment immediately. And I received 1 when I finally got to my building. So a lot more talk about this one. I personally am very happy with my purchase, and this is the elite of the elite representation of that Montalbano Intensivo DNA. Now, I'm not saying that the Ormond James, the Montalbano series, is not something to look into because of this. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just sharing my story and how I feel about it. I'm still gonna wear Intensivo, Verano, and Cuba. It's just gonna be in different situations now, because this is going to be on display when I'm going to the office for sure, dressing it up, going out on, you know, some nice dinners or events. It's the quality here and the blend here and the amped up presence of this formula, this DNA for me. So I know I went on and on and on about it, but I just kind of wanted to kind of explain that. Not explain it, really express my interest and my experience. On Friday, most complimented of the week, from the House of Boldiccia, the Victorious, we have the Night of Love. This stuff is outstanding. Great stuff. All right. And last but not least, on Saturday, man, this is just one of the best freshies that you can just get. Bang for your buck. Goes over and beyond. Performance for a freshie is nuts. This is great. This is one of the most underrated fragrance houses in the community. And this is definitely one of the most underrated fragrances of them all. From the house of Tumi, on Saturday, we went with Atlas. Tumi Atlas. Man, listen, that grapefruit, ginger, vetiver combination is outstanding. I love Tumi's Atlas. If you are looking for a fresh fragrance of representation, this is something that you want to look into. This is not basic, in my opinion. It's not a basic freshie. It has some elements like that floral grapefruit note and that ginger. There's 2 different types of vetiver in here. The vetiver in here comes out very clean. It has some earthy touches to it, but a clean vetiver. The grapefruit in here is sparkly. The note is Florida grapefruit, a sparkling grapefruit, and the ginger just adds a pop to it and a spice to it that's blended really well with that vetiver. I overly recommend this. You can get this for a great price on discounters. Again, if you're looking for one fragrance for you and you want a fresh, clean fragrance, but something that's not like very shower jelly, this is one to look into. So I've talked about this a lot. I have a nice dent in this bottle. I only had this bottle maybe a little over a year, but I love this stuff. And the performance is wild for a fresh. I definitely get 8 hours, maybe even 9 out of this. Now, I do more than my 6 sprays with this one. I go 8 to 10 with this one because it is a freshie. But this is fire, man. And for Saturday, going into work, going into the office, it was a little bit warmer on Saturday. It was the perfect choice. This stuff is awesome. You can do anything with this fragrance. You can wear it to the gym. You can wear it on casual days out. You can go and wear it when you're running errands. You can wear it to the office like I did. It's just one of the better, fresher fragrances you can experience, especially if you love vetiver. It's good here. From the house of Tumi on Saturday. We went with Tumi Atlas. This stuff is good, man. It is good. Great stuff. All right. So there you have it. That's my weekly rotation. 185 straight weeks. I think we covered what it was, the week of the 14th. September the 14th. So thought I had a fabulous lineup, fantastic lineup. How about you guys? What did you think about your rotation? Drop them down below. I thank y'all for the support. Thank y'all for the love. It means a lot to me, and I don't take it for granted. All right, so until next time, be cool, be safe, take care of yourselves. Remember, it's positive energies. Remember, it's positive vibes, and it's positive vibes only, especially this way. All right, splack it up, splack it down, splack that thing all around. Now remember, what you put out to this world is exactly what you are going to get back. Peace, man. Until next time, splack it. It's like towards the end, I'm trying to be real cool getting out the video. Peace.